boys and girls, Miss Tabor back with another lesson from our level literacy intervention that I have permission to use from the publisher Heinemann. So we read a book last time about the Sonoran Desert, and it was a really great book about all of that information that we could learn from reading the story. Today, we are not reading a nonfiction story, which tells you that it's going to be a fake story from our Fix-It family. But first, we're going to start with a phonics lesson, just stretching words and figuring out the letters to spell it. And we're going to use what's called letter boxes. Sometimes in the past, we've used sound boxes because we spell things based on how it sounds. But today, we're going to spell things based on how they're actually written, because we have been practicing a lot about vowel combinations and digraphs and consonant clusters, meaning more than one letter together. And so we will get started, and I will walk you through all of that. All right, so let's take a look at this chart that I have. So these are the letter boxes I was telling you about. So I'm going to say a word, and I'm going to stretch the sounds, and for each sound, I'm going to put the letters in each box. Now remember, it might have one sound, but the sound might be made up by more than one letter, just like our vowel digraphs and combinations. So the first word is going to be dream. Now it sounds funny in the beginning, but you really need to think, what does it start with? So I'm going to go ahead and stretch these sounds. D, E. Now I need to think, how do I get that E sound? Well, I'm going to go ahead and use my E-A combination and then the ending, dream. That is how we spell dream. Now, sometimes there are other vowel combinations that make that long E sound, but we just need to remember that dream is an E-A. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Now this one has 6 letter boxes, which means there's going to be 6 letters. That does not mean there's going to be 6 sounds. So let's go ahead. The word is clouds. K-ul. Well, I'm going to start clouds with a C because I know that k-ul, ow. Now there's 2 ways to make that ow sound, an O-U or O-W. Now usually when the ow sound is in the middle, it's with an O-U combination. Cloud, clouds. There we go. So as you're writing, sometimes you need to stop and think, what is the sound? What combinations can make up that sound? And where is the sound in the word? A lot of things to think about when you're writing. Next one, quick, qu, qu. You need to think, what letter or letters make that qu sound? Well, I know it's a Q, but I know that Q is always next to U. Even though it does not make a sound, it's still together. Qu, I, k. I know when it's a short I or a short vowel sound and it ends with a k sound, it's usually followed with a CK. Not just a K, not just a C. Okay, quick. Next one, the word is those. Those. If you count the sounds, those, there's only 3 sounds in that word. Think about the beginning. You know that's a TH. O, you can hear that long O sound, so you need to think, how do I get the O to say its name? Well, in this particular word, it's a sight word, high frequency word. You should know that it's by a magic E at the end of the word. So we need to get that last sound, those. Sometimes that S sounds like a Z in those, but we need to know that's how you spell those. Okay, next word, bloom. I like this one because all the flowers outside are starting to bloom. B-O-O. How do you get that ooh sound? Tricky. It is a double O. Think about some other sounds that have that double O, or I'm sorry, that sound that represent the double O. P-ool, p-ool, boom. similar sound. All right, one last word. Shells. Shh. What two letters make that sh sound? I hope you said SH. Sh. Whoops. O. It's going to be a double L. And then to make it more than one, shells, add your S at the end. So here you are using letter boxes to make sure you have each letter to represent in the word. Remember, sometimes the sounds are represented by more than one letter. It's tricky, just like our vowel combinations, or just like that QU, or our digraphs, the TH and the SH. Sometimes the words have double consonants, double L's, and silent E's. So tricky. Okay, great job. We will probably come back to that another time, but for today, usually we would move on into our writing about the Sonoran Desert. Today I would usually dictate writing for you. I'm not going to do that. I'm sure you've been writing enough. We are going to get right into reading a new book. So let me show you the new story. Here it is. This story is an easier one. You are going to do it all by yourself. I will slowly go through each page. I might interject and speak about a few things, point out a couple words possibly or ideas that we've been talking about. So this is called The Bird Feeders. Now, in a couple lessons ago, we talked about finding base words or root words and then adding endings to them. Well, look at this word feeders. Well, first off, I see the S. Okay. Well, if this word is hard for you to read, hide the S. Feeder. Well, if that's still hard, look at this ending, ER. We practiced that just a couple lessons ago. Take away that ER and the S. Oh my goodness, a double E. You know that says E. Feed. Add your ending, ers. Feeders. Easy peasy, just break up the words into little chunks that you can read. And then reread it and make it sound awesome. So in this story, it's a series, the Fix-It family, and what do you think they're going to try to fix? Bird feeders, I'm thinking. So Nana, in this story, she loved to watch the birds. And she loved to feed them. So she would always throw some seeds for them on the ground and they would eat them. But there was a problem. This guy on the front cover is the problem. Even though he's cute, he's a problem. Do you know what the problem is? I bet you can figure it out. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the pages. You read it. Here's just again the characters: Nana, Pop, Mom, Matt, and Rose. All right. Oh, I want to stop at this page. On page 6, I'm going to read this bottom paragraph. Those squirrels, Nana cried. Look at them climb that pole. They're taking the birds as food. This word. Birds, plural because there's an S, but then there's this apostrophe at the end of the word, which means the birds own the food. And there's more than one bird, so that's birds' food. They're taking the birds as food. This is a tricky word. They're taking the birds' food, the birds' as food. Tricky. All right, keep going. I love this one. Remember, when the author makes a word bold, you just need to emphasize it when you're reading. Then the birds and the squirrels all had plenty to eat, and everyone loved to watch them until... Make a prediction. What do you think happened next? Until what? I don't know. Oh boy. A bear? Poor Nana. She can't catch a break. The squirrels kept eating the bird food, the bird seeds, and now they finally solved that problem by, I'll go back to a couple of those pages, by making tons of different styles of bird feeders, and then they got that last problem, the bear. If this story continued, let's say there was another chapter, I wonder what the Fix-It family would do for the bear. Or with the bear. That makes me really wonder. So I really enjoyed that story. If I'm connecting my own personal ideas to the text, it's like a self-to-text connection. I'm thinking that I know a lot of people love looking out the windows and watching their birds. I know my dad really is, when he sees a bird, he's like, oh, I haven't seen that one all year. And he just really enjoys it, whether the bird was eating or just flying. He really enjoys it. I wonder if you enjoy watching birds or watching the animals outside, and your reactions. Have you ever seen a problem where the squirrel eats some of the bird food, or the squirrels bother the birds, or maybe the opposite, maybe the birds bother the squirrels? I'm curious on what you notice at your own houses. Talk about that with someone. Again, feel free to reread this story. I think it's a great one. It is not too difficult to read. There are a lot of vowel combinations. There are a lot of consonant clusters, the two letters together that make two sounds. You have to blend them together. A lot of great things in this story. I love that this story starts with a problem and then ends. Then throughout the story, it goes through different solutions, and then finally, they find the solution that works. I really enjoy these ones. All right, so thanks for tuning in. I will have another lesson for you shortly, and I'll see you later.